This is so good for Tesla China. You see, in China, this is really the only place where there is some serious concern for Tesla's demand. Everywhere else, US, we got it covered with a $7,500 EV tax credit. The demand in the United States of America is extremely strong. Inventory for Model 3s and Ys is non-existent right now. And Europe just now is ramping the Gigafactory in Berlin, in Germany. And really, the only reason why we are supposedly having difficulties in China is all because of this virus, because of this zero tolerance policy to this virus. I mean, if a business is shut down and you cannot work at that business as an employee, if things are just not running, how will you have money to buy a car? But today, early morning, this happened where all of the restrictions, literally almost all of them, are being lifted for Tesla in China. I believe there is a lot of demand for the Model 3 and the Model Y as long as the economy of China does not crash. If the economy is just fine, if it's normal, then probably there is more than enough demand for Tesla Model 3 and Y to keep growing for an extended period of time. And then we don't really need that $30,000, $25,000 EV in China that fast. And of course, the best part would be no factory shutdowns in China as well. So to me, this is some of the best news that I could have hoped for. So let's see exactly what's going on here. China announced major policy changes regarding COVID-19 on Monday night. No more mandatory quarantine. No designation of close contacts. No more restrictions on flights. Good for the economy again. A negative test result 48 hours before the trip is the only requirement to travel to China. Again, good for the economy. Good for Tesla. Effective immediately, China renames the novel coronavirus pneumonia to novel coronavirus infection, dropping the word pneumonia from its official name of COVID-19. In China, it has been designated as a Category B infectious disease, but has been managed as the top most serious Category A infectious disease since 2020. Starting on January 8th, 2023, COVID-19 will be managed as a Category B infectious disease, paving the way for dropping restrictions. So here's what's going to be different starting with January 8th. There will no longer be designated high and low risk areas. Testing will be voluntary, and there will be a change in how information and how often it is being released. And this is really good for the economy here as well. According to China's Frontier Health and Quarantine Law, China will no longer impose relevant quarantine measures on inbound personnel and goods. So you would still need, if you are traveling to China, you would still need a negative test. Those with negative results can come to China without applying for a health code from Chinese embassies, consulates abroad. China will eliminate centralized quarantine upon entry. China will eliminate 5-1 policy, which basically limits the number and the kind of flights that airlines can have. So definitely very good for the economy. So China is opening up. Everything is opening up. Hopefully this time permanently. So basically all of the restrictions are going to be lifted, and I can't imagine how this would be bad for Tesla's demand. I mean, I'm sure Gordon Johnson will probably come up with something. I seriously won't be surprised if Gordon goes, "Did you know that people in China are no longer afraid of the virus, and then the people they're buying Teslas because they were afraid of the virus, and now why would they need these fancy filters with defense mode? Why would ever anyone buy a Tesla?" Leave your best suggestions for what Gordon is going to say next. If you haven't seen this, you gotta see this. They put two cars. One is a Tesla with this HEPA filter. They put two cars in this bubble, and as you can see, they filled the bubble with a lot of smoke. And you can see a regular car in the right here, and here's the Tesla right here inside. Looks clean, and here's the other car. Ooh, you don't want to be in that car if you are driving in a city that is polluted, which is basically every single city, especially in China. Oh, have you been to China? I don't want to go back to China again. So polluted. Ooh. Although everything looks quite good, let's not relax. With this whole China situation looking a little better, because something may still sneak up on us. We don't want to stay too calm. We want to stay paranoid. Like Elon Musk says, only the paranoid survive. But a dance for this occasion is certainly appropriate, and I wouldn't judge. Okay, maybe just a little bit. And here's something that I see over and over and over and over again, and this is clearly good news for Tesla. Before buying my Tesla, I did test drive Volkswagen ID4, a Polestar, a Skoda EV, and the Audi Q4 EV. I wasn't even interested in a Tesla, so I went for a test drive. Immediately, I noticed how the Model 3 was light years ahead of the competition. Bought the Tesla Model 3. Now, with my wife, it was very similar too. We went to Mercedes dealership and Audi dealership. We might went to another one, and then in the end, she picked a Mercedes. And I told her, "Hey, look, you should go check out a Tesla. You should really go check out a Tesla." He's like, "Ah, no, 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 not even gonna try it. Not even gonna try it." And then we got the Mercedes. This was how long ago now? 3 years ago, something like that. And then one of our friends who lives here in Vancouver went back to Taipei, and this friend left the car to us, basically, to watch the car for us to keep it in our garage, because the friend lives in an apartment and there was no good place to leave it. And then my wife tried the Tesla. And then I was stuck with the Mercedes. She didn't want the Mercedes anymore after that. Never. Here are just a few things that she likes. You get in the car, you don't even need to have a key, you just have your phone. She constantly loses the keys. Now she never loses the keys. She may still lose her phone, but she doesn't lose the keys. She also really likes the music experience. It's really good. The quality of the speakers is really good. She likes how when you get in the car, it automatically adjusts to your seat settings immediately. When I get in the car, it automatically adjusts to my seat settings. We don't need to click any buttons. It just works. It just works. And the software, it just works. And the maps, they just work. In the Mercedes, I tried using it once, and after like an hour of trying, I'm like, yeah, this is just not going to be very useful at all. The voice commands, they just work. The speed is fast. Really fast. And also, because we live in Canada, it is really nice to get in the car and the car just starts heating up immediately, instead of with an internal combustion engine vehicle, you have to wait for the engine to warm up first, so that takes 5-10 minutes. In a Tesla, you get in the car, boom, it's warm immediately. And she likes that the car is just smooth. No gear shifts, no weird delays of acceleration. It's just instant, and it just works every single time. So yeah, if you haven't tried a Tesla yet, you really should. And if you're buying a car, at least give it a test drive. I should have maybe spent a few more hours trying to convince my wife to at least just go get a test drive. You don't need to get it, just go try it. I should have done that. And now she's so happy that she got to try a Tesla. And these are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. My name is Matt Post. Just like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.